Do you think you've heard of these 5 amazing TV shows? They're fairly rare, but they're some of my favorites. Stay tuned, I'll let you know what they are. Welcome back, everybody, to The Art of Doing, where we seek to inspire you to practice doing new and different things, explore new interests, and discover new passions. If this is your first time for the channel, I'd love for you to consider hitting the subscribe button and click that notification bell right next to it so you never miss any content that we're dropping new every week. Today, I want to talk to you about 5 different TV shows that are amazing that you may not have ever heard of. I'll give them to you in no particular order. The first one that I'll talk about is called Top Shot. It was a reality TV show, standard format, 2 teams, elimination every week, but it was all about firearms and projectile weapons. They'd bring in different experts, marksmen, armorers, Boyer-Fletchers, and they would put them into competitions of distance shooting, speed shooting. If you were into firearms or any type of thrown or projectile weapons, this was an amazing TV show and not too many people knew of it. It was only on for 4 seasons. Next one I'll talk about is called The Boondocks. It is a cartoon show, comedy. It's centered around 2 brothers that moved from the inner city out to the Boondocks to live with their grandfather. The older brother, Huey, is sort of a black revolutionary type, commenting on culture, and the younger brother is kind of a wannabe gangster. The art is amazing. Star-studded cast, well-known actors, rappers, Regina King, Witherspoon was in it, comics, Cat Williams, the list goes on and on. Rappers, Mos Def, Snoop Dogg, Busta Rhymes, the list is on and on and on with the people that were in this show. An absolutely hilarious show, borrowed heavily from kung fu movies and obviously rap culture. And I think this one kind of flew under the radar. That one maybe the most popular of the 5 that I'll discuss today. Another one was called An Idiot Abroad, and this show had me in stitches when it was on. I believe it was only 2 seasons, and I'll tell you the reason why. The premise of this show was 2 well-known television producers put up their friend, a very simple and close-minded provincial type, put him up to be the host of a travel channel. And it was all a gag. He was not the host of a travel channel. The show was actually about putting him in uncomfortable situations that you and I might really enjoy if you like to travel. This guy did not like to travel, and they would send him to far off places that, again, you and I might love to go, and he absolutely hated it. He thought he was doing a travel show and he was the host of this show, and really the cameras were just trained on him the whole time, and it was a riot. The reason it couldn't last too long is because obviously he was going to find out that they were spoofing him, and unfortunately it couldn't last too long. That show was amazing. Show number 4 is a show called Solitary that was on, I want to say, the Fox reality channel for a brief time. I believe there was 4 seasons of it, but you may not have come across this. The show Solitary was another one of those early reality shows. See how long you could last doing something uncomfortable or physical, gross out eating competitions. But the twist on this one is each of the contestants was placed into a small pod. Couldn't have been more than 8 feet across, kind of a octagonal teepee. They were put into this pod with no contact with anybody. They got all their instructions from a computerized voice and a screen, and basically they had these competitions, and to tap out, you hit a button on the wall. But because you were in solitary, they didn't know if they were doing well or not. The agony of the decision to hit the button was you never knew if that was your last moment on the show or if everybody else had tapped out an hour ago. So it created some really interesting psychological propositions. The fifth show I want to talk about is a show called Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. It was based off of a novel by Douglas Adams, who you may know from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy book series. I believe they made a terrible movie about it as well. But this was one of his novels which I actually read and loved. Douglas Adams, hilarious author. And this show, very much a comedy, but kind of wrapped in a drama. It kind of made a show of the interconnectedness of everything and at the same time the absurdity of life. I can't really explain much more than that, other than that there's some characters that are thrown into these absurd situations that by the end of the season they all interconnect in an absolutely hilarious way. Those are 5 TV shows that I think you would love. I definitely enjoyed them. Very obscure, so you may not have heard about them. If this is interesting to you at all, give me a thumbs up. Share this with anybody that you think might be interested in any one of these TV shows. And leave me a comment in the comment section down below. Which obscure TV show do you love and you think I should watch? And have you heard of any of the TV shows that I talked about today? Well, thanks for sticking with me. Let's always remember to practice compassion, practice kindness, and practice humility. And thanks for being with me to help me practice the art of doing. Some great videos for you to watch over here. Click over here to subscribe. Thanks, everybody.